Dear child, please stop all activities and pay attention to me. I've been looking forward to the opportunity to inform you about something that will change your perspective on yourself and the future. Your days have been consumed by a question you are unable to satisfactorily answer. This is the one question you've been hesitant to ask aloud because you're afraid the answer will confirm all of your negative self-perceptions. That inquiry has been whispering to you during times of solitude. It followed you like a shadow through each stage of your life, keeping you awake when everyone else was sleeping. This is the inquiry. Is my life truly important? Is there a genuine purpose for my existence? Is it possible that I am only occupying space in a universe that will continue to revolve indefinitely in my absence? I am here to provide a definitive answer to that question, and my response will dispel every misconception you have ever had about your importance. This message is for those who are courageous.
This message is intended for people who continue with their daily routines despite their desire to stay at home.
That is a courageous act. That was a courageous move. That is the spirit I implanted in you before your first breath. I am acutely aware of the burden you have been carrying, and I am currently observing you. I understand the feeling of being burdened by so many things for such a long time that you were afraid your back would give out. I am aware of the persistent thoughts that prevent you from getting enough rest for your body. People have been keeping you in the dark about your concerns that everything is falling apart, and there is nothing you can do to stop it. I recall those moments when you were unsure whether you could go any further. Furthermore, I want to express my confidence in your continued presence, as you continue to listen and persevere. I chose you for very good reasons. Pay attention to the words. I chose you because of the numerous potential outcomes and outcomes. I specifically chose you for a mission that you are the only person capable of completing. This wasn't an accident. This was not an error. The universe did not make a mistake when it created you. I held my position for an indefinite period of time before the start of time. That was when I replied in the affirmative. I reflected on your life, personality, specific experiences and struggles, and the unique combination of strengths and weaknesses that define you. This is the statement I made. I informed them that it is their responsibility to bring this aspect of my mission to life. Before the mountains formed, the oceans reached their full depths, and the stars discovered their positions in the sky. I was thinking about you. I had been making you feel uncomfortable. I meticulously organized every aspect of your life with the precision and attention to detail that an artist would use to create a masterpiece. Your wishes, fears, tears, smiles, and laughter. Your entire existence was purposefully planned. Your entire existence was purposefully planned. I do not make errors, and you are not the only one. These words demonstrate my aspirations for your life. I now approve of all of my plans for your future as you hear my voice speak directly to your heart. They have been attempting to persuade you that my plan was a failure, that something went wrong along the way, and that you have deviated too far from my intended course of action to ever return to it. These assertions are incorrect. Each of them is a meticulously planned ruse intended to persuade you to abandon your pursuit before you reach your goal. I will continue to follow the same course of action for you. Your errors have not resulted in any changes. Regardless of your failure, it remains valid. Your uncertainties have not lessened its significance. I do not believe that my plans are vulnerable to being jeopardized by the actions of others. I'll never be able to change, disassemble, or cancel my plans. They existed in heavenly places before the beginning of time and will be realized on earth before the end of time. Nothing can stop me from making this decision. There is no way to stop the statements I've made. Nothing can prevent me from keeping my promise. I'm guiding you step by step while holding your hand. It is unnecessary for you to look at the entire path ahead of you. You do not have to be aware of every upcoming turn and twist. Please have the confidence to move on to the next step, and the one after that. You are not required to run a marathon at this time. So, I'd like you to take an additional step. I implore you to put your trust in me for another day. For some reason, I want you to believe in me, despite the fact that the circumstances around you seem to indicate otherwise. One of the most difficult parts of this journey has been the unknown. I'm aware of that. You're intrigued by the upcoming events. Before deciding to travel, it is critical to research the destination. You require certainty, assurances, and unambiguous maps that show your destination and estimated travel time. However, faith does not work in this way. Faith is the act of taking the next step when one is unsure of their footing. Faith is the act of relying on my voice when you can't see my face. Even if your life appears to contradict my claims about myself, faith is the ability to believe that I am good. We can overcome any obstacles to your progress by working together. I will work with you to address any issues that may arise. It was never intended for you to fight these battles alone. It was never intended that you transport these items independently. I created you to foster relationships, establish connections, and collaborate. When you feel like you're going to drown, I'll reach out and lift you above the waves. When you feel overwhelmed by your problems, I take on the most significant responsibility. I am not some distant deity who observes your anguish. I'm not just observing your problem-solving methods and taking notes. I am an active participant in your life, taking part in every aspect, fighting alongside you in every conflict, and genuinely caring about the outcome of each. When you're in pain, I feel it too. I am deeply moved by your tears. I will be pleased with you if you succeed. If you fall, I'll be there to help you recover. Faith is not this. This is the nature of relationships. I was eager to have this type of sexual intercourse with you before your birth. I'll work with you to overcome obstacles and defeat our adversaries. Currently, there appear to be insurmountable obstacles. The tops of some walls are invisible. You've already convinced yourself that you'll lose because of the sheer number of opponents and their formidable strength. However, you have ignored my suggestions. You have been thinking about your strengths, resources, and ability to overcome this. You are aware that it is insufficient as you have done the calculations. Your argument is convincing. It is impossible to depend solely on one's own strength. However, everything changes when my strength is transferred to you. I've defeated every adversary you'll ever face. I have successfully navigated every obstacle you will face. You have overcome all potential future challenges. And because you and I are inextricably linked, my victories become your victories. What I overcame, you will overcome. Your triumph becomes my victory. Your conflict lacks an objective. When you enter combat, you are already at an advantage. The conflict has already been resolved in the spirit realm. At the moment, we are only observing it in nature. We will continue to persevere and fight. We will not surrender. We will not surrender. We will not give up and assume that defeat is the end, because the purpose for which I placed you in this world will be realized. It's not feasible. This is not a prayer. We will not simply observe events as they occur. It is a pledge backed by my character, my strength, and my unwavering determination to finish the work I have started in you. Human determination based solely on willpower is not the focus of my call to persistence. That level of determination eventually fades. That fortitude diminishes over time.
In the end, that level of resolve leads to repeated disappointments. Please be persistent with the divine determination that comes from my spirit within you. Moments when all indications point to skepticism. Moments when all indications point to the need to question one's faith. There is a reason for your presence on Earth. Your existence is not due to a biological accident or chance. Your name was written in my book before the world was created. The first star appeared, and the oceans gathered. I was acquainted with you. I observed your presence. I had an agenda for you. Your life was always going to be part of my plan. You have consistently been an important part of my story. I've always harbored feelings for you. I have been thinking about you on a continuous basis. Please consider that for a moment. I thought about you before time ran out. I was developing strategies for you prior to the availability of space. Before anything else, you were already a beloved child in my heart, and I eagerly anticipated your arrival. Life isn't an afterthought. There is no alternative strategy for this situation. It's not a backup. God's primary goal was to create you, even though He could have created anything else. I had feelings for you before your birth. I could already imagine the day when your eyes would open and you would see slivers of my divine light. It took some time for me to find you, establish communication, and begin the relationship I had planned for you. Each moment of your lives has helped us gain a better understanding of one another, formed a stronger bond, and revealed the essence of our shared being. The moment you began to believe in me was not the beginning of my feelings for you. I didn't ask you to do or not do anything in order to love you. I've always had feelings for you. I cherished you before you took any actions, positive or negative, or made any decisions. I had feelings for you regardless of the circumstances. I cherished the fact that I knew every action you would take or refrain from taking. Nonetheless, I harbored feelings for you because of my inherent nature. I am in love. I base my actions on the fact that things are constant. I am aware that your uncertainties have led you to formulate questions that you have never before addressed. You're beginning to wonder where I was during the most devastating period. You are beginning to wonder if I was truly present during the most agonizing moments of your pain. I do not believe it is inappropriate for you to ask these candid questions because they allow me to reveal a greater portion of my heart. I am delighted when you ask me questions. It is understandable that you are experiencing such uncertainty. I understand why those questions have been on your mind. You expected me to prevent specific events from occurring. However, I failed to do so. You thought I would protect you from some of the pain, but you continued to feel it. You requested that I respond to certain prayers in a specific manner. However, my responses did not meet your expectations. I understand how that could evoke feelings of abandonment. I understand how this could be interpreted as betrayal. As a result, I understand why people might question my authenticity. Where was I while you were in pain? It felt like I was closer to you than you had anticipated. I held back your tears as you wept silently in the dark. I held you in my arms when you felt abandoned by everyone who should have cared for you. When you thought you couldn't survive the pain, I was infusing life into your lungs and fortifying your bones. I've never abandoned you. I never walked away from you. My gaze remained fixed on your anguish. I've never been absent from your life. You couldn't breathe, beat, or endure for 1 second. I've been there for you through both good and bad times. I've been by your side through your most significant victories and devastating defeats. I was present when you had a strong sense of my presence and when you felt alone. It's unnecessary for you to be aware of my presence.
Your feelings about my proximity to you are irrelevant. I am always present, whether you can see me or not. However, certain events occurred because I was able to perceive what you were unable to. It was clear that stress would have an effect on you. It was clear to me that adversity would strengthen you. I could see how the anguish would increase your capacity for compassion and empathy. I did not intend to punish you. I didn't ignore your existence. I was purifying you in the same way that gold is purified in a furnace. By removing everything unnecessary, I ensured that what remained was precious, beautiful, and pure. The refinement process is never enjoyable. It is not a pleasant experience for anyone when impurities rise to the surface and are skimmed away. The period when the fire becomes more intense and the pressure rises is not a pleasant one. However, there is no alternative method for purifying the gold. The diamond's value is not realized until the earth's weight applies pressure to it. To gain strength, steel must be heated, hammered, and shaped. It's understandable that this is difficult to grasp during a difficult time. It is simple to talk about purpose and recovery once the discomfort has subsided and one's perspective has improved. However, when you're in the furnace, the flames are biting at your skin, and everything around you appears to be on fire, it's difficult to believe that something good can come from such a tragedy. As a result, I want to reassure you that I have not abandoned you, despite the difficulties you are currently experiencing. No, my strategy has not failed. The story does not end at this point. If your story were complete, you would not be hearing these words. I would not be encouraging you if my strategy had failed. If I had abandoned you, you would not have felt a glimmer of hope while listening to this message. I have not and will never lose faith in you, as evidenced by your continued presence here, where you continue to listen, hope, and believe, even when it seems impossible. The enemy has applied significant pressure on you to surrender. He's been speaking to you in your ear when you're feeling weak, giving you a list of reasons to give up. He has been recounting the times when you failed, made mistakes, or were incapable of becoming the person you aspired to be. He has been using your memories to his advantage, transforming them into tools designed to undermine your faith and optimism. He's been watching you for quite some time. He is aware of your demeanor. He is aware of your vulnerabilities. He knows exactly when you're most likely to believe his lies and follow his orders. He has the ability to articulate statements that make you doubt your own abilities. The topics he discusses are designed to evoke feelings of regret in you. He has the ability to manipulate your fears in order to persuade you to avoid all of the tasks I have assigned. However, I am here to tell you that your adversary is deceiving you. He has been deceitful throughout his life and will continue to do so. He isn't being completely honest. He is not entirely truthful when he says you are worthless. He is not entirely truthful when he says your situation is hopeless. He is not entirely truthful when he claims I have abandoned you. He is not telling the truth when he says that your most prosperous years are behind you and that only difficult times lie ahead. In order to obtain something from you, he repeats all of his statements. He intends to suppress your optimism. He seeks to undermine your faith. He wants to rob you of your joy. He wants to instill feelings of guilt in you. He is interested in knowing your name and address. He wishes to seize your vehicle. He intends to take away everything I have given you, leaving you feeling depleted, bereaved, and defeated. However, he cannot tolerate what you refuse to give up. Nothing that he tries to steal will reach you. He cannot destroy what I am determined to preserve. The truth is that I have some very exciting plans for you. The reality is that your future is not determined by your current circumstances. The truth is that I am using methods that are invisible to you to achieve results that are beyond your ability to imagine. The truth is that I am using the very thing the enemy intended to destroy to elevate you. It is true that the events you have witnessed are part of a larger story of redemption and restoration that will astound you once you understand how everything fits together. I excel at the art of storytelling. I, the divine author, have been writing the story of history since the beginning of time. I have the ability to assemble the most difficult elements of a story, including the painful sections, perplexing plot twists, and heartbreaking setbacks, in a way that honors my name and benefits my people. Your narrative is identical. Your suffering is not in vain. Your efforts are not in vain. All of this is being compiled into a testimony to benefit future generations. I implore you to speak out immediately against those fabrications. I would like you to agree with the concept of heaven. Please enter one word in the comments section below. Amen. Avoid using this term in casual contexts. Use it to express that you will no longer accept the enemy's deceptions. Your anchor should be that amen, a public declaration that you would rather believe my truth than his lies. As you type, remember that angels pay attention when a child of God stands up for the truth. I chose you for this particular moment in history. Please consider that for a moment. There were numerous opportunities for you to be born and live, but I have brought you here for a specific reason. The world requires exactly what you have to offer. The obstacles you face are not meant to discourage you. They are intended to indicate areas where you can have a significant impact. You are invited to participate in the resolution process if you notice the state of disarray. If you have not already done so, now is the time to subscribe to this channel. Pressing that button will cause the bell to sound. It's not because you overlooked a video. This is related to maintaining equilibrium with the divine. It is critical to maintain contact with the origin of your breakthrough. Each message I send you represents a piece of the prophetic puzzle. Each word you utter is a key to the next level. Avoid putting yourself at risk of becoming disconnected just before my strenuous relocation. Before proceeding, I ask that you mobilize your faith in anticipation of the upcoming events. Subscribe today to secure your alignment. Please add this information to the comments section. My breakthrough is nearing. Please do not express the possibility or hope that my breakthrough will occur. Declare it with certainty. Interpret it as a message for your personal life and record it. As you type these words, your mouth aligns with my assurances. These words are meant to describe the mountains that are blocking your path. You are asking that all of the plans I have for you be fulfilled. You are prepared now that the wait is over. Anticipation has made you more prepared. You are now more resilient as a result of the struggle and are ready for the abrupt transformation that will change everything. I need your continued faith during this final stretch. It is critical to maintain faith even when the circumstances appear to be bleak. It is critical to resist the temptation to quit before reaching the finish line. It is not the right time to unwind. It is not the right time to lower one's level of alertness. It is more important than ever to persevere, pray deeply, and believe wholeheartedly. The adversary is more eager for you to surrender than ever before, knowing that the breakthrough is on its way. Keep him from achieving victory. You are too close. This season, every step you take represents a step toward change. Heaven promotes your interests with every prayer you utter. Every time someone professes their faith, the spiritual atmosphere changes. Each time you choose to rely on me rather than your circumstances, you give up control that is beneficial to you. There's no waste. Everything is significant. Continue without interruption. I will always love you. I assure you that I will never break my promise to you. I am unwaveringly committed to you. Nothing in the world can change the fact that you are mine and I am yours. I'd like you to understand a key aspect of spiritual warfare and the conflicts you're currently experiencing. Fighting the enemy is unjust. He has never and will not do so. He disregards the rules of the game. He disregards the regulations. He is unconcerned about the timing or legitimacy of an action. He will attack you when you are at your most vulnerable or unprepared. He will hire people you trust to launch an attack against you. He will take advantage of your most profound anxieties and distressing memories. He will simply distort the truth slightly in order to make his fabrications appear accurate. However, he is unable to accomplish these tasks. He is incapable of exceeding the blessings I have bestowed on him. He cannot destroy what I have blessed. He is unable to avoid the call I placed. He is unable to halt the process that I have started. He cannot separate you from my affection. He is unable to separate you and me. He is incapable of taking your inheritance or changing your name. He has no authority over my or your possessions. My child, you were purchased with blood, sealed by my spirit, protected by my power, and designed to fulfill my desires. The weapons you use in combat are not sexual. They aren't tangible objects. They are not the same weapons used in battles around the world. Your spiritual weapons can dismantle strongholds through me. When you pray, you arm yourself with a weapon that the enemy cannot defeat. When you perform worship, you create an unsuitable environment for him to live in. The truth emerges as you speak my word over your life, dismantling his deceptions. When you forgive someone who has wronged you, you break the chains that held you hostage. The adversary desires that you use people as weapons against them. He wants you to be enraged, resentful, seek revenge, and defend yourself when he attacks you. That is because he understands that he can defeat you if you take action in person. However, he is unable to harm you if you engage in a spirit-based struggle. Utilize the weapons I provided and follow my strategy rather than your own instincts. Develop the ability to identify his behavior and effectively counter it. If he challenges your identity, declare it. Remember how much I paid for you when he disparages you. Don't forget the actions I promised to take if he threatens your future. Don't be concerned if he attacks your relationships. Show affection instead. When he attacks your health, you can rely on me to provide you with the necessary healing. Trust me to protect you as he pursues your money. When he addresses your mind, I want you to have control over your thoughts and direct them to align with my truth. You have the necessary tools to defend yourself in this conflict. You do not have any weapons. You're not confronted with it. It appears that you have all of the necessary components to win. All of the armor I gave you is now in your possession. I have provided you with powerful weapons. I've demonstrated an effective strategy. You are invincible, except for your decision to surrender. Furthermore, I beseech you with all my heart to continue your struggle at this time. Continue to persevere. Do not give up the ground you have already gained. I'd like to discuss the importance of not giving up. When someone works hard and perseveres, something spiritual happens. Eventually, circumstances will change in your favor. Many people refer to it as a tipping point. It frequently occurs right after a period of intense desire to surrender. It usually happens right after you've reached the point where you think you can't take it anymore. The enemy is determined to persuade you to abandon your efforts before achieving this goal, and he is aware of it. You won every conflict you faced because of your unwavering determination. Every significant accomplishment you have made has been the result of your perseverance during the difficult periods that came before them. Each victory you've had was preceded by a period when it seemed like the best course of action. Nonetheless, you avoided quitting. You did not stop. You maintained your resolve. You emerged victorious. The experiences you are currently having will be identical in battle. The significant advancement you anticipate will occur in the same way. The seemingly distant victory will be achieved in the same manner. If you persevere, you will succeed. Will win, as opposed to might or could. Perseverance is not just a desirable quality. This is the key that allows you to make a breakthrough. It connects your current location with the destination I envision for you. I've seen how hard work can transform people's lives in my community. The only reason I know that these ordinary people accomplished extraordinary feats is because they refused to give up. Individuals who overcame adversity have inspired mountain rangers. I've seen people defeat giants by fighting until everyone else gave up. Despite the fact that the promised lands were visible to all, a small group of people continued to march. You have the same capacity. Regardless of the circumstances, it is possible to endure. Even when tempted to give up, you have the fortitude to persevere. You are devoid of that strength. You have access to it at your leisure, as it is mine and flows through you. My mercy is enough for you. Your vulnerability strengthens my fortitude. When you are at your most vulnerable, I am at my strongest for you. Unleash that power. Make the best of it. Allow my power to permeate you and achieve what your own strength could never do. In any case, you are not meant to win this conflict alone. It is intended to be completed in my possession. Do not try to be as robust as possible. Alternatively, allow me to gain strength from your presence. That's when the situation starts to improve. At that point, victory is certain. That is the point at which difficult tasks become achievable. I am extremely proud of your dedication to your efforts so far. I am deeply grateful for your belief in me. It is deeply moving to me that you continue to believe in me despite what appeared to be a foolish decision. You are unaware of how much your perseverance has improved my reputation. You are unaware of the emotional impact your steadfast determination has on the angels. You have no idea how much your unwavering faith in the face of adversity has benefited my kingdom in ways you can't see. Continue without interruption. Continue to persevere. Continue to persevere. Keep your faith. Continue to persevere. Your efforts are having a substantial impact. I value your loyalty. Your stance is crucial. Furthermore, you are closer to making progress than ever before. I'd like to demonstrate what awaits you after this conflict. I am eager to demonstrate the nature of your life after you have made significant progress. I do not intend to inconvenience or torment you with what you have yet to acquire. However, in order to give you a focal point and a sense of direction as you continue to progress. Peace lies on the other side of this conflict. Genuine tranquility. It is not true that there are no issues. However, my peace is present in the presence of those who remain. Inexplicable tranquility. The peacefulness that protects your mind and heart. A state of calm that allows you to sleep at night and go about your day without the anxiety and apprehension that has previously held you back. Happiness awaits at the other end of this conflict. Joy. Not happiness which varies with the seasons. However, my acquaintance has brought me profound and long-lasting joy. Also, being acknowledged by me. The joy that is immune to the occurrence of negative events.
sudden and unexpected happiness. Joy emanates from within and spreads to all. On the other hand, there is a reason for the conflict. A compelling, well-defined rationale for engaging in an activity that gets you up in the morning and keeps you going all day. A purpose that clarifies the entirety of your experiences. Every experience, skill, and relationship should serve an eternal and meaningful purpose. A reason for existence that gives your life meaning beyond your wildest dreams. There is plenty of food on the other side of the conflict. Not just enough for survival, but enough to share with others. Financial independence allows you to help others without worrying about your own financial well-being. Resources derived from unexpected sources. A favor that creates opportunities and opens doors you didn't know existed. Relationships exist on the other side of this conflict. Relationships that are both nurturing and healthy. People who value you for your inherent characteristics. Individuals who are thrilled with your accomplishments and believe in your calling. Individuals who inspire you, increase your intelligence, and help you grow personally. A neighborhood that evokes feelings of domesticity. A connection that fulfills your soul's deepest aspirations. You will be in good health after the conflict. The strength of your body will improve. Your mind will be uncluttered. Your emotions will stay consistent. Additionally, you will have the energy to complete all tasks. What I requested from you. Energy for the opportunities ahead of us, as well as recovery from past wounds. This is the action that needs to be taken. I've devised the following for you. This is the reason the effort was worthwhile. Please examine this image. When you feel it is guiding you forward, don't turn back. It is intended to encourage you to persevere in the face of adversity, even if it appears that the conflict will never be resolved. There is a genuine alternative viewpoint. A significant breakthrough is on the horizon. Everything I've told you will be available to you. Allow yourself to bask in that affection. Draw strength from your commitment. Discover the strength of your determination. Allow the unwavering truth that I love you to serve as the foundation upon which you stand as you face each challenge and overcome every obstacle. You will overcome it. A significant breakthrough is on the horizon. Your objective will be met. You will emerge victorious. Not because you might or hope. Not if everything goes according to plan. Because I said so, it will happen. In addition, my words are not meaningless. The breakthrough will happen as I predicted. Furthermore, I am incapable of breaking my commitments. You will achieve your goal thanks to my meticulous planning. Additionally, I am unable to change my plans. Remain steadfast in that certainty. It is intended to give you confidence. Allow it to clear all doubts. Allow it to remove all uncertainty. Allow it to drown out the adversary's lies. In all honesty, you will be victorious. However, reality dictates that progress is imminent. In reality, the goal will be achieved. I am truly with you. There is no obstacle that can stop you. Before I conclude this message, I'd like to speak to you directly and from the heart. The component that continues to reject all of the information conveyed. This component has built barriers around itself to keep hope from entering, having been disappointed numerous times. The part of you that wants to believe but is afraid of being disappointed once more. I can see that in you. I am aware of the reasons for the presence of those walls. I also want to convey truth and compassion to the wounded part of you. You have previously been injured. Despite your strong beliefs, you have previously been disappointed. You had previously harbored aspirations that were ultimately dashed. You have previously put your trust in someone,
only to be disappointed. I am aware of all of this. Every time an error occurred, I was present. I witnessed the dissolution of all hopes. Every trust was violated, and your actions broke my heart each time. However, I want you to understand a critical aspect of disappointment. There are several types of disappointments. Occasionally, you will be disappointed when you put your trust in the wrong person or object. Expecting something that was not promised can lead to feelings of disappointment. Some disappointment is the result of timing that did not go as planned. However, being disappointed after placing your trust in me is a unique experience. Because each time I disappoint you, it is only for a short time. People are not always honest, which is why you felt betrayed when someone you trusted let you down. The disappointment that comes from putting one's trust in circumstances that don't work out is unpleasant. This is because the circumstances are inherently unstable and uncertain. However, if I have let you down, please know that the story is not yet over. The denial was not the one that was late. The rejection was not the result of a lack of patience. The response "no" was frequently interpreted as "not yet" or "not in that manner." You cannot see the timetable of my loyalty. Events that you perceive as disappointments often appear to me as perfect timing. Please allow me to earn your trust once more. I understand the magnitude of that fear. I am aware that the trials you have faced have strengthened your heart. I understand that the numerous disappointments you have experienced have lowered your level of optimism. However, I am not similar to the people or things that disappoint you. I am incapable of deception. I'm incapable of failing. I am unable to withdraw my commitment. Regardless, everyone and everything else is not. I feel affection for you. Have a little faith in yourself. You are not required to execute the entire jump at once. It is unnecessary to demolish all of your walls at once. Open a small window. Allow some light to enter. Please give yourself another opportunity to believe. It is irrelevant how small it is. One simple act of trust will lead to another, and then another. Until you realize that the walls designed to protect you have actually slowed your progress. Yeah, as those walls come down, you will discover a sense of freedom and joy that you had forgotten were possible. I'll wait for you to finish the task. I am not sure if you will immediately put your full trust in me. I understand that trust must be reestablished. Faith must be restored one step at a time, and wounds must be repaired. I will continue to demonstrate my loyalty to you until the evidence is conclusive and the trust is unbreakable. I beg you to give me an opportunity. Inform me of your desire to stay together. Continue to be present, listen, and take small, faith-filled steps. I will conclude. I have made a strong connection between all of the topics we have discussed and the goal I have assigned to you. It is related to your perseverance, because you cannot achieve your goal if you do not persist in the face of adversity. It is related to your recovery, as injured warriors cannot fight to their full potential. It is related to how much faith you have in me, as trust is necessary for relationships to function successfully. Everything is interconnected. Each component works in conjunction with the others. There is no barrier that prevents you from reaching the destination I desire. That goal goes beyond simply achieving something or being somewhere. It's a state of being. This is their way of living. This is a lifestyle that you cannot abandon because it stems from me rather than your circumstances. When someone achieves their destiny, they will undergo a transformation. This is not due to a problem with your character. It's because you're transforming into a different entity. The challenges you're currently facing are making room in your soul. You have never known happiness. The ability to make an impact that you never thought was possible. The ability to develop a relationship with me that you have never had before. When you arrive at your destination, you will feel sorry for yourself, compassion for your pain, and appreciation for your perseverance. You will know that every tear was well spent. You will see that each obstacle was worthwhile. You will notice that each time you were tempted to abandon your pursuit but chose to persevere was a victory that aided your achievement of the ultimate goal. I am with you throughout this expedition. They will carry you when you are unable to walk, advocate for you when you are unable to fight, and believe in you when you are unable to believe. You're never truly isolated. You will never be left unattended. There is always hope, someone or something that can help. I am your loving Father, true friend, and powerful Savior, and I will always be by your side. It is critical that you allow this truth to fully penetrate your being. Allow it to heal the wounds that doubt has caused. Allow it to restore the hope that disappointment had extinguished. Allow it to restore the trust that betrayal has shattered. I agree with you. I support you. I am currently employed by you. I will not abandon you. The brave are ascending. Individuals who are courageous are advocating for their beliefs. The warriors are preparing to use their weapons and are determined not to give up. You're one of them. You've always been one of them. Something within you refused to surrender. Not even when you were unsure, weakened, or considering surrendering. That entity is my spirit, which resides within you. It can be extremely empowering to discover strength and courage that you were previously unaware you possessed. Wake up, brave child. Take pride in the authority I've granted you. Please join the army of people who are unwavering in their determination. You were created to achieve victory. You were created to succeed. Your victory was unavoidable, and you and I will overcome every challenge, fulfill every obligation, and keep every promise by banding together, fighting together, and remaining true to our convictions. Your story does not end at this point. The most exciting aspect is yet to be realized. Please be aware that this is the struggle before the victory, the battle before the breakthrough, and the darkness before the light. The most intriguing components have yet to be revealed. You have not yet experienced the most favorable circumstances. A great deal of joy has yet to be experienced. You are still on the path to achieving everything that is good for you, and I am calling out to you and encouraging you to become the person I created you to be. Be courageous, my dear child. Be the warrior that I've created you to be. When faced with the future and your adversaries, it is critical that you have self-confidence. Avoid retreating. Continue to persevere. Continue to persevere. Not at this time. Never. The most exciting part is quickly approaching. Please hold on for a moment. Please have more confidence in me. Maintain your conviction for another day. You will soon see for yourself what I have been advising you for quite some time. The assurance remains valid. The objective is genuine. They will undoubtedly succeed. Continue to persevere. Perform a brave act and observe my movements. Before you leave, I have one final assignment for you. Distribute this message. Simply click the share button to send this video to a friend, family member, or via social media. For what reason? Because delivering a prophetic message to someone is more than just providing them with information. In breakthrough, you're in motion. They will receive the same anointing that affected you. They will feel the same optimism that drove your recovery. Furthermore, I assure you of this. When you become a channel of blessing for others, your breakthrough will grow. You cannot extend your forgiveness any further. Distribute it promptly. The channel should be you. Inform everyone about this, and then observe my actions in your life. Please share this message if it resonated with you and motivated you to keep going. Thank you. Someone else must be hearing these words right now. Someone close to you is about to give up. You never know. This message may provide them with the motivation to continue. Type Amen in the comments to publicly declare that you will never give up. Sign up for this channel and turn on the alerts to never miss a message from God again. You are getting closer to your breakthrough than you realize, and these daily messages will help you maintain your faith as you move forward. It's important to remember that you've got family and friends. You can be confident that God will always advocate for you. Before we wrap up this captivating story, I recommend that we take a moment to reflect on this deep reality. This message was not discovered coincidentally. This is not just a coincidence. This is Archangel Michael's direct message to you. He extends his hand and invites you to a high vibrational, protected community where divine abundance is more than a hope, but a promise. This spiritual idea is quite simple. Nonetheless, it has the capacity to transform your entire life. You will not just gain blessings if you follow it. They will multiply and permeate all aspects of your existence. Accepting this invitation provides you with immediate early access to powerful content and divine insights that are currently unavailable to the wider public. You now have the opportunity to enter a sacred area where you will receive unshakable support, spiritual guidance, and speedy progress towards your destiny. Do not miss out on this historic opportunity. Your triumph is near. Action is required. Your abundance is ready. Pause for a moment, my dearest child, and feel the weight of the words I am about to say. Your presence left even me speechless. My child, do you understand the significance of that? I, who knew every thought before it was spoken, who created the mountains and commanded the seas, who sees the beginning and end. Last season, your gaze moved me so deeply that you have no idea how much it affected me. The enemy sought to subdue you not because of your perfection or lack of flaws, but because of the information they learned about you. Please refrain from scrolling. Please do not delay. It is critical that the truth be revealed at this time. If you rush through this moment, you risk missing out on the news that heaven has in store for you. This is not enjoyable. This isn't an error. This isn't just another message. This is a divine interruption of your plans. I intended to use this as a conclusion. I deliberately directed your steps to this location. I purposefully allowed your gaze to rest on this moment. A fascinating discovery has been made about you in the spiritual realm. Heaven was watching over your heart, despite the fact that you were preoccupied with ensuring your survival and getting through the day. Angels watched as you persevered. The enemy kept a close eye on you and hoped that you would be defeated. However, the contents of your body astounded everyone, even those who had previously dismissed your claims. You were chosen to receive this information, despite the fact that 99% of people will never hear it. Not because you are better than others, or because you completed all of the necessary steps correctly. Your heart has demonstrated its ability to receive revelation without fear or pride. There are many people who want the truth, but few are capable of accepting it. Many people want to be selected. However, few are willing to go through the rigorous selection process. You persisted. You are not representative of the majority of people.
You are not an unfamiliar person. Your arrival on this planet was not accidental. I imbued you with an impervious force from the moment you were created. There is a depth to you that you may not fully grasp. You have a surprising level of resilience. You possessed an inner strength that refused to give way when faced with adversity. That refusal was not a sign of stubbornness. I placed the strength there a long time ago before you were born. This moment was meticulously planned. I knew there would come a time when I'd tell you the truth before your first breath, mistake, or disappointment. I anticipated that you would eventually question your significance, calling, and worth. I was also aware that I would eventually reveal the information I had been withholding about you. If you ignore this, heaven may take longer to reveal your true identity. I am not making a threat. I'd like to extend an invitation to you. Please keep a forward stance. Do not dismiss this as an emotion. Do not assume that it is a coincidence. You asked that I be explicit. I was asked to demonstrate your true self to you. I'll now respond. I will inform you of the information discovered about you and why it is significant to the current situation. Initially, you must silence the voice that says this can't be about you. Indeed, it applies to you. You who nearly gave up, but eventually persevered. You who wept in private, but were kind to everyone else. You chose to be honest despite not feeling included. You persevered despite your vulnerability. Despite the fact that everything else had broken, I couldn't say anything because your core was still intact. When betrayal approached, you chose not to be transformed into the very thing that caused you pain. When the delay forced you to wait for an extended period of time, you avoided using profanity toward me. Despite the deceptions of loneliness, you have not completely abandoned the concept of hopelessness. Your faith appeared frail at night, and despair nearly consumed you. Despite your belief that you were barely surviving, you were always drawn back to me by a deeper force. Heaven was keeping track of how much effort you put in. While you thought no one was watching, I was meticulously examining your heart. The discovery I made was unusual. It was unique, but not flawless or perfect. I discovered loyalty after convenience was removed. I encountered a faith that was fleeting but unwavering. I learned to be humble at a time when I could have felt very proud. I saw compassion in you even after you were injured. That combination happens very rarely. This is why the majority of people will never face this truth. Many people give up because of pain. When confronted with a challenge, many people feel angry. Many people leave when there is an excessive amount of silence. However, you did not really leave. You were under the impression that your insignificant actions were meaningless. You had the impression that no one could notice your silent obedience. You believed that remaining calm in the face of a strong desire to respond demonstrated vulnerability. However, it was a challenging experience. It has reached you. It was an indication that something deeper was developing within you. In form, I boldly maintain my faith. You are not like the majority of people if you believe every promise he has made to you throughout your life. You are burdened with spiritual significance. There is an action you have yet to recognize. The enemy was aware of it before your discovery. This explains why the attacks appeared to be targeted at specific individuals. This is why the pressure was so intense. This is why hopelessness attempts to envelop you like a dense cloud. He wished for you to forget your identity before discovering it. However, what I've instilled in you is impervious to adversity. You cannot erase the indelible impression I have left on your soul as a result of disappointment. This past season, it was discovered that you have the stamina to handle additional responsibilities. You have a humble demeanor and are capable of accepting blessings. Your depth has the potential to produce a revelation. The truth must be revealed immediately, as it is critical that you are aware of your identity ahead of the upcoming season. You cannot progress if you believe you are insignificant. You can't carry the gift I'm about to give you if you believe you're not important. Please do not delay. Avoid scrolling away from the call. There is no need to conceal one's identity. The purpose of this truth is not to boost your self-esteem. It is intended to boost your confidence in me. Even I was speechless by your actions, my child. Not as a result of your performance, but because of your diligence. You successfully navigated a situation designed to silence you. The experience you had was designed to demonstrate your vulnerability. Instead of collapsing entirely, you developed stronger roots. Next, I will reveal information that will change your perspective on the past, present, and future. The truth about you can no longer be hidden. Once you've gained this knowledge, your outlook on yourself will be forever changed. My beloved child, I will now reveal the information that was discovered about you in the unseen realm, as you have been living this season unaware that it is being investigated. Heaven was keeping a close eye on your heart as you went about your daily activities and tried to remain calm. Your heart, the most profound part of yourself that you thought no one could see. Not your public status, success, or appearance. When everything else was silent, I looked into your heart. When my prayers did not seem to be answered, I looked into it. I considered the situation where people you trusted betrayed you. I looked beyond your outward reactions to determine your true emotions. And the discovery there made the heavens tremble. You believed you were on the verge of success. You saw yourself as weak. You believed that your tears showed your vulnerability. Heaven, on the other hand, discovered something else while closely examining you. Your strength was concealed within you. Not a loud or proud force, but a quiet yet impenetrable strength. Your core did not disintegrate as the pressure rose. It curved. It shook slightly but did not fully break. Despite your uncertainty, you kept whispering my name. You still looked for me, despite the fact that you thought I had abandoned you. Your perseverance revealed a unique side of yourself. Loyalty under pressure caught the enemy off guard. He had anticipated that you would leave immediately. He anticipated that your sorrow would turn to rage. He believed that your perplexity would lead to rebellion. In contrast, you tolerated your discomfort by remaining attached to me. He was surprised by that. He observed your weaknesses and concluded that you would be unable to recover if you fell too far. However, you didn't. You are unaware of the extent to which your actions are being monitored. Every instance in which you chose to remain calm rather than enraged was significant. Every time you chose patience over anger, it made a significant difference. It was significant each time you chose honesty over compromise, even if it would have been easier to give. These weren't minor incidents. They showcased your profound spirituality. Oh, your faith was demonstrated in difficult circumstances. Prior to this season, you thought your faith was not particularly strong because of the emotional impact it had on you. However, faith is not determined by one's emotions. Rather, it is measured by the length of one's conviction. So, despite the shaking, your faith remained unwavering in the absence of happiness and comfort. Faith that was in turmoil remained faith. You persisted in your prayers despite the delay in responses. So, despite the lack of substantial evidence, you kept your faith. Despite the perceived risk, you persisted in your search for hope. That revealed your true emotions.
Genuine faith differs from performance faith or religion. You wept on certain nights, which made you feel vulnerable. However, heaven does not recognize vulnerability. Individuals surrendered before heaven. Your exertions caused you to feel exhausted at times. Heaven did not witness any individual's failure. Heaven noticed your perseverance. You occasionally inquired about my thoughts, but you never cursed me throughout the process. The connection was not disrupted. Despite the difficulties, you chose to remain. My dear child, your perseverance caused heaven to move. This is not a fabrication. People in the unseen world took notice when you remained faithful, even in the most difficult circumstances. Your spirit was honored when you refused to give up completely. Individuals did not show enthusiasm. Your heart was empty of joy. Nonetheless, there was acknowledgement. We would appreciate your assistance with our channel. Our goal is to grow your faith in God and brighten your life. If you wish, you may make a contribution to us through Super Thanks. You were unaware of your spiritual development. You spent a lot of time thinking about your lack of possessions. You compared yourself to others who appeared to be more confident, assertive, and louder. You thought you were lagging. You felt vulnerable as a result of your substantial fall. You could see the extent of your growth from the outside, but not from the inside. Initially, growth is often difficult to detect. Fruit does not appear in sunlight until the roots have developed. Your roots were especially strengthened during the most difficult times. You learned to rely on me rather than on cheers. You learned to seek my opinion rather than the approval of others. You learned to endure discomfort without immediately rising. That is the essence of spiritual maturity, which was quietly growing within you. Because the pain was so severe, you assumed that you were weak. However, being sensitive does not imply weakness. It has profundity. It indicates that your heart is still beating as a result of the disappointment you felt. You are open about your faith because you face doubt rather than dismiss it. Your tears, rather than your attempts to conceal them, indicate that you were thinking about how to change your behavior. Heaven noticed the strength in your heart, which you mistakenly saw as weakness. It discovered loyalty when you assumed people were exhausted. It discovered humility in an environment where pride could have grown. It expressed concern for you even after you had been injured. You are unusual in a spiritual sense. Consider that truth for a while. At the moment, I'd like you to participate in an activity that appears simple, but has significant spiritual significance. Please provide me with one word in the comments section. You only need one word to acknowledge and adopt this truth as your own, rather than simply reciting the Amen to show your agreement with this revelation. As you write this sentence, imagine agreeing with heaven's pronouncements about your true nature. You are not injured. We've not forgotten about you. You are unusual in a spiritual sense. Your Amen should rise as proof that you will never see yourself the same way again. You are extremely unusual in a spiritual context. You saw yourself as weak. Rare because of your tenacity in the face of adversity. Rare because you endured pain without expressing malice. Rare because you successfully completed the examination without abandoning your faith. When things are going well, a lot of people may compliment me. Many people are able to express their opinions when they see blessings. However, this comfort is fleeting, and silence lasts for an extended period, or disappointment is profound. Numerous people withdraw. You did not withdraw completely. Even though you recoiled in disbelief, you did not abandon me. The enemy saw your tears as proof of your defeat. However, heaven saw your tears and recognized your fortitude. The enemy believed that stress would permanently incapacitate you. However, the pressure revealed the extent of your abilities. No, it was unclear to you how you gained intelligence. You started to notice small details that you had previously overlooked. You developed the ability to recognize when a statement was false. You began to trust my gentle touches over the boisterous voices around you. That development occurred in areas that no one observed. You were unaware of the extent to which your humility had grown. You used to believe that shouting was necessary to defend yourself. However, this season taught you the value of remaining silent. You realized you could trust me with your name. This is the definition of strength. You were unable to see the extent to which your compassion grew as a result of your injury. You learned how to understand people who are going through a difficult time. You stopped being unkind and instead showed compassion. This is the essence of spiritual maturity. Heaven, my beloved child, observed your heart and identified an unusual phenomenon. A spirit that would not completely disconnect, rather than perfection or faultless behavior. A heart that kept returning. A person with an unwavering spirit. You thought you were insecure. You are unusual in a spiritual sense. Everything has changed as a result of this information. Because uncommon items have a high value. Rare items are assigned more responsibility. Rare items are meticulously kept. The experience you underwent had the potential to strengthen you. Shutting up could have been a possible outcome of your situation. Despite your reservations, you kept contacting me. That is why I reiterate it. Your words rendered me speechless. It's not like I was unaware of your abilities. It was lovely to watch it unfold under pressure. You're more resilient than you realize. You are more complex than you realize. Better than you're aware. You're prepared. Given that the truth has been revealed, it is critical that you change your self-image. Do not refer to yourself as weak anymore. Avoid asserting your vulnerability. Don't believe you're falling behind. You are unusual in a spiritual sense. You persisted. I noticed you continued to stay. You underwent changes that were not obvious to you. The heavens have observed this. I will now reveal the reason for the long-standing concealment of this information about you, my beloved child. I contacted you because you asked why I hadn't contacted you earlier. Why did I allow you to wander around in uncertainty? How I kept certain revelations from you while you searched for answers. You assumed I was reserved due to my lack of proximity. You believed I was lying to you because you were not good enough. However, the reality is more complex and requires careful consideration. Timing is critical in revelation. Some truths are therapeutic, while others are overwhelming. It is possible to have revelations that increase the size of things as well as their strength. If I had told you this information before the shaping, stretching, and quiet battles, it would not have resulted in the same level of strength as it does now. It had the potential to boost their level of pride. It had the potential to instill fear in people. It had the potential to divert your attention away from the necessary tasks. When I first told you, you may not have realized the scope of your uniqueness, the depth of your spirit, or the enormous responsibility that your life entails. It is possible that you tried to complete the task instead of abandoning it. It's possible you were looking for recognition rather than personal development. You may have started an effort to protect an identity that you weren't yet ready to carry. My child, even the smallest gestures show pride. Not all situations call for yelling. It occasionally communicates. Praise may develop gradually if it is given prematurely. If I had disclosed this information before your development of humility, you might have thought you were superior to others. You could have used comparison to judge yourself instead of compassion, which would have been far more damaging to your spirit than anything else. However, fear can also stymie progress. If I had revealed this information before you gained courage, you might have declined. It is possible that you thought, "That cannot be me." You may have felt a sense of responsibility and been forced to withdraw into fear. You may have reservations about your ability to transport the items I provided. This is why I prepared your heart first. Always, preparation comes before revelation. I was obligated to help you achieve stability. It was important to me that you felt vulnerable and dependent. I had to instill in you a sense of vulnerability in order to show that my strength comes from me rather than you. The test had to be completed prior to exposure. Exposure can be harmful in the absence of a foundation. When pressure is applied to an uncompleted structure, it collapses. I was quietly fortifying your inner strength while you were unaware. I was trying to sharpen your senses, test your patience, and instill a sense of humility in you. A substantial amount of construction was underway. You assumed that the examination was only about your endurance. However, it also evaluated your readiness, willingness to share the truth without altering it, accepting approval without arrogance, ready to respond to phone calls without anxiety. Quietness guaranteed my safety. I require that you hear it. Quietness guaranteed my safety. I refrained from publicly confirming you immediately to ensure that you were not subjected to external pressure that you were not prepared to face. When I didn't give you all of the information at once, I kept you from attracting attention that could have diverted your focus. In order to help you develop, I may have kept some information from you. You felt overlooked at times, but you were still developing. At times, you felt ignored. However, you were developing in secret. The strength of growth that occurs in silence exceeds that which occurs when people cheer. I refrained from disclosing this information earlier due to your lack of preparedness. Not because you were unworthy, but because you were unprepared. It is necessary to be mature in order to communicate revelation. Stability is essential for preserving one's identity. Humility is essential for having a calling. You see, revelation changes your way of walking. Once you've determined your identity, your actions change. Your standards rise. Compromise becomes increasingly difficult for you. You develop a better understanding of the concept of responsibility. If the transition occurred too soon and your character was unprepared for it, it could have been overwhelming. Before understanding capacity, one needed to have had the experience of being limited. Before you could understand the importance of timing, you had to be. To comprehend strength, weakness had to be experienced first. That sequence was deliberate. Prior to disclosing your true identity, I had to eliminate certain elements. I was forced to stop relying on validation. I was forced to abandon the practice of seeking approval before following instructions. I felt compelled to remove certain attachments that would have slowed your progress after you had made it. After I revealed this truth to you, you may have attempted to validate it rather than embody it. It's possible you tried to persuade people rather than just entering. Your identity may have become a spectacle, which was not my intention. Identity is not a prominent feature of my personality. It remains constant. It is unnecessary to continue defending it. It is unnecessary to confirm it on a regular basis. It was necessary for your heart to be at peace in order for this truth to be revealed to you without change. To manage it without feeling proud, a gentle demeanor was required. It was necessary to have a strong mind in order to accept it without anxiety. I waited. I did nothing while you cried. I waited while you were uncertain.
I witnessed you having a physical altercation. I was attentive, not indifferent. I was waiting for the moment when your humility and fortitude would be in sync. When your need for me outweighed your desire for attention, and your faith was strong enough to allow you to accept responsibility. The moment has arrived. You are not the person you were at the start of the season. You have a greater sense of stability. You are far less likely to react. The distinction is discernible. You are aware that you need my help more than ever. Because of that maturity, the truth can be revealed without fear of harm. The silence protected you from being exposed prematurely. Delays prevented you from reaching an immature level. Hidden seasons protect you from unstable foundations. Understand, my dear child, that this revelation is not withheld to harm you. Now is the time to fortify yourself. God's timing is exquisite. The gradual disclosure of information is not without wisdom. You wouldn't have been able to appreciate the journey if I had given you all of the information at once. You might have questioned my credibility when things got tough if I had revealed your identity to everyone before the test. You've been through a lot, including wrestling and growing up, and you can now recognize the truth and be certain that it's correct. I waited because you had previously been unprepared to hear this truth. However, you are now ready. Your humility is currently preventing you from progressing. Currently, your endurance is advantageous. Your sagacity has secured your salvation. You are currently sustained by your faith. This reality will not ease your pain. It will constrain you. You will not find it excessive. It will restore your balance. Absence was not attributed to the absence of noise. It was in the process of being ready. Delay did not indicate rejection. It was for the sake of protection. Waiting was not punishment. It was a matter of position. Finally, the curtain is lifted, allowing your heart to process the information presented. This message is approaching a critical milestone and requires your undivided attention. There is no more silence regarding your life. The concealed season is performing its intended function. Additionally, I need your immediate attention to the current situation. You should state, "I am prepared," in the comments section rather than waiting until you believe you are ready. No, when all of the required components are in place. I am ready to write in your current state. This is your assurance to heaven that you will no longer hide your true identity. My dearest child, you must now understand a phenomenon that has been occurring beneath the surface during your silent season. The adversary attempted to conceal this information about you. He was aware of the situation before you were. He was aware of the weight of the substance I'd inserted into you. He attempted to modify the seeds I had sown because he was unable to eradicate them. He was unable to conceal his identity, so he tried to trick you into believing you were someone else. There was a subtle spiritual opposition to you. It wasn't always thrilling. Loudness was not always present. It occasionally seemed to be a subtle attempt to discourage. Sometimes it was accompanied by thoughts that felt like your own. It occasionally expressed itself through the words of others. However, those periods were an attempt to change your self-perception. The adversary was aware that you would act differently if you truly discovered your identity in me. Your statements would differ. It would stop reducing your size. You would stop expressing regret about your existence. You would refuse to accept anything less than what I desired. And this would make his control over your mind less secure. He succeeded because he planned ahead. He spread falsehoods about your worth. He whispered, "Not enough."
He explained that your mistakes shaped your identity until they appeared irreversible. He repeatedly recreated your failures. He slowed your progress and exacerbated your deficiencies. His intention was for you to notice nothing unusual. When you looked in the mirror, did you notice anything unusual or robust about yourself? You occasionally put your faith in him. At times, I believed his fabrications were louder than mine. You were under the impression that you were falling behind everyone else. You believed that you lacked something that other people possessed naturally. You believed that your difficulties demonstrated that you were not as intelligent, valuable, or desirable as others. It became one of his most useful tools for comparing objects. He prioritized people who appeared to be further ahead than you. He let you observe their accomplishments, confidence, and level of recognition. And gradually, the act of comparison began to undermine your confidence. You started evaluating yourself based on dates that were not meant for you. You began evaluating your progress using rules that were never meant to be applied to your life. Your attention was drawn away from personal development as a result of comparison. As a result, you failed to recognize the scope of your accomplishments. It hampered your ability to recognize your own strengths. It led you to believe that you were failing because you did not move in the same way as others. However, you were never asked to assume the identity of another person. You were summoned to become the person I created you to be. The attacks were premeditated. They were the intended victims. You were on the verge of accomplishing a significant goal when you became discouraged. Doubt grew as you delved deeper. Temptation became more potent as your discipline strengthened. These patterns were not random. They were attempts to raise doubts about your identity prior to your realization. You had peculiar but plausible thoughts. You are not distinctive. You will never get over this. You're in too much pain. It's too late for you. These assertions were incorrect. There were seeds sown with the expectation that they would grow. However, the adversary did not anticipate the following. Your spirit would not fully accept those fabrications. You were unkind to them. You did, in fact, have these experiences. You faced difficulties. However, your heart did not want to completely agree with them. That resistance demonstrated that you remained aware of the truth. The adversary tried to conceal your identity by instilling feelings of disappointment in you. He attempted to compel you to share your story by making you feel pain. He tried to make up for your past mistakes. He seemed to believe that the fact that you were having difficulty meant that he had forgotten about you. However, the reality persisted. Your spirit responded to every fabrication that was spread. All those who attempted to undermine your confidence were unsuccessful in some way. You may have had occasional doubts about your own abilities, but you did not abandon your beliefs completely. Although you may have had reservations about calling me, you did not hang up. Xiao, you cannot be stripped of what I have implanted in you. Pay close attention to the contents of that sentence. You cannot be stripped of what I have implanted in you. Not through failure, rejection, lateness, comparison, or spiritual attack. I provide a robust sense of self. Events are incapable of removing it. It has not been modified by the adversary. It is not destroyed by adverse conditions. It is possible that it will go unnoticed for an extended period. It may be hidden beneath the weight of sorrow. Nonetheless, it remains intact. The adversary was limited to attempting to change the situation. He could never delete. You were subjected to attacks in order to make you question your identity. However, doubt does not diminish the truth. You only need to locate it once more.
Even when you were at your most vulnerable, you could feel something urging you back to hope. I was that pull.
In reality, I was able to keep my grip despite the pressure of the pull. Occasionally, you almost succumbed to the deception that you were ordinary in a negative sense, with nothing noteworthy or significant. However, each time you became comfortable with that idea, I received a completely different response from you. I told you quietly that you are more than you appear to be. The enemy desired that you forget your strength. He wished for you to reflect on your fatigue. He hoped that you would use each delay as an excuse to boycott the competition. Waiting, however, does not halt the design process. The pressure did not eliminate the objective. He tried to hide the truth by being ashamed. Regret past decisions. It's a shame to make mistakes. You should be ashamed of your vulnerabilities. Shame attempts to suppress your identity. Shame attempts to keep you from being observed. Shame tries to prevent you from recognizing the truth. However, I did not force you to accept humiliation. I meant for you to be able to move freely. Shame may have arrived at your doorstep, but it did not dominate your life. Despite all attempts to undermine it, the truth stood firm. I believe someone is reading this right now. You have been through a lot. You have been through ordeals that would have resulted in the death of others, but you continue to persevere, persist in your beliefs, and advance. Right now, I'd like you to celebrate your success. As proof, type "I survived" in the comments section. Not out of superiority, but because they are exceptional. It is not meant to boast, but rather to show that God has been on your side. So, when you type those words, you aren't just commenting. Even when you were unaware of your identity, you exuded a sense of stability. Even when you were weak, there was a sense of fortitude. Even though you didn't feel acknowledged, there was something significant. I inserted the object into you. The enemy is unable to produce anything. He is limited to bending. He is unable to modify the content that I have created. He can only attempt to divert your attention away from the situation. Additionally, there is the influence of distraction, which is temporary. The lie spoken over you does not reflect who you are. You're not concerned about your emotions. You are not the comparison that seeks to reduce your size. You cannot be stripped of what I have implanted in you. It could have been verified. It may have been called into question. It is possible that someone inquired about it, but it remains. The enemy attempted to conceal this truth from you because he knows that once you fully accept it, you will exude the confidence that comes from me. When you are overcome with fear, you will be unable to negotiate. There will be no more uncertainty in your work. You will stop criticizing yourself. The shift has a significant impact on everything. Understand this completely, my beloved child. Opposition is frequently a measure of worth. The intensity of the attack highlighted the importance of the items you carry. The pressure you felt was not an arbitrary phenomenon. It refers to your potential. However, the truth prevailed. I held it, and it remained beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to emerge. It's now time. You were never taken away. You were never overlooked. You were never at your lowest point. You cannot be stripped of what I have implanted in you. It remains at its current location. It's still alive. It is critical that you understand a specific point. Being in tune with God's voice is related to the current activities of God in your life. This message may have given the impression that heaven is directly communicating with you about your situation. If this is the case, I urge you to take a prophetic step. Register for this channel now. You are committing to God's prophetic promises for your life, not as an afterthought, but as a statement. Each subscription corresponds to your spiritual journey. Receiving notifications is like declaring to God that I am ready to hear His message. Execute the action instantly. Become accustomed to the release of energy from the heavens. It is stronger than any fabrication that tries to undermine it. I must now speak directly and firmly to your spirit, my beloved child. This is because the information I'm about to share is not amusing, lighthearted, or easily dismissed. A different method was used to select you. Pride and arrogance are not what distinguishes oneself. The majority of people will never have to bear this burden. You are not among the 99% who will never hear this. Many people will continue to walk without ever discovering what's inside them, but you were chosen to know. And once you know, you have to accept responsibility. Do not make the mistake of choosing something because it is easy to use. This is not the same as ease. When I say you were chosen in a different way, I don't promise an easy path. I am telling you about a calling that requires maturity. That's why you got checked out. That is why you were made better. That's why the silence before the truth was revealed left you feeling stretched. Many people want to be chosen, but few are willing to be disciplined in order to be chosen. A lot of people want power without humility. Many people want power without giving up. Many people want revelation without being held accountable. But you were created in secret because the possessions you carry cannot be given to someone who is unstable. You are not one of the 99% because your heart beats differently when under pressure. While others became more rigid, you grew more flexible. While others left, you persisted and remained. Although others chose anger, you faced difficulties before deciding on forgiveness. That is a substantial distinction. That distinction is significant. You have spiritual power that is hidden inside you. You don't have a complete understanding of it yet, but it's slowly coming together. Noise is not caused by power. It is not an expression of pride. It is unnecessary for you to deal with it. Despite the chaos, spiritual authority maintains order. It provides a sense of calm during storms. It changes the atmosphere without having to shout. That power grew while you were concealed. However, it expanded while you were not looking at it. It grew as you exerted yourself without being recognized. You didn't need a platform to build upon my work. You did not squander those peaceful years. The overlooked seasons were not devoid of life. You were authoritative because of them. Now that you are aware of this reality, you must change your walking style. Not arrogantly, but with composed confidence. It was certain, albeit not very loud. Refraining from comparing oneself to others and instead finding comfort in the unique way I created you. A different method was used to select you. Your path will be unique. I am currently experiencing the Holy Spirit's call to serve as a catalyst for change in the lives of others. Your thoughts are currently focused on someone who requires this information. They have the sense that no one remembers them. They have feelings of being overlooked. They appear to find their course of action illogical. God desires for you to communicate with them. At the moment, please distribute this video. Afterward, not. Understand when you recall. Right now. Simply click the share button to send this to the intended recipient. When you share, you aren't just sending content. Your schedule will differ from those of others. Your assignment will be distinct from all others. That is acceptable as well. That was the intended outcome. Comparison will work to reestablish itself. It will notify you that you are behind schedule, that you are not as skilled as others, or that you have missed something. However, you were chosen in a different manner. You are not defined by what measurements work for others. In evaluating you, I used an alternative standard. According to that standard, you are not deficient. Right now, you are exactly where you should be. Do not allow the enemy to reintroduce fear in your life after the truth has been revealed. Following the communication from heaven, refrain from repeating outdated fabrications. You are unusual in a spiritual sense. You were chosen in a unique way, and the essence of what I taught you must endure. You must begin your movements as though you are aware of this fact. Not with arrogance, but with calm. Not with pride, but with confidence. The solution is not to exert oneself, but to rest. You have been carrying too much weight for an extended period of time. It has been a long time since you were unaware of a particular issue. You're now aware. You now understand. You are now aware of what information has been discovered about you. In secret, your heart demonstrated its accuracy, and I was unable to respond. The experience you had was meant to shatter you. Despite the fact that it would have been easier to leave, you stayed. Despite the apparent impossibility, you evolved. And the heavens were watching. This reality has a significant impact on your lifestyle, my dear child. You are no longer allowed to discuss yourself in the same way that you did before. Please do not claim that you have been forgotten when I recall your name. Resist the urge to label oneself as weak when they have overcome numerous challenges that the majority of people could not. When God has designated you as unique, refrain from claiming to be ordinary. Words are powerful. It is critical to deliver a speech about oneself. It is critical that your words align with the information I have provided. Pronounce it aloud or to oneself. It is unusual for me in a spiritual sense. I was truly broken by the very thing that was meant to break me. I felt burdened by faith. Despite the temptation to leave, I persisted. Heaven has observed my emotions. Right now, I urge you to take action that will bring God's favor into your life. Please click the like button right now as you feel the weight of God's love on your heart. You are not just performing this maneuver for the sake of a video. This is a spiritual sign that God is transferring something to you, and you are accepting it. Consider the possibility that each time you click the like button, you are granting God's favor and making a contract with heaven. Your acceptance of the blessings He is about to bestow on you reflects your likeness. Refrain from doing it out of habit. Execute it as an act of faith. It is not a reflection of my personality. I've not been overlooked. I am not a weak person. I was selected in a unique way. Please give yourself some time to consider those words. Allow them to remove the outdated charges. It is time for them to stop spreading lies that have been repeated several times. The enemy was mistaken about your identity. You are exactly how I described you. I have also mentioned that you are unusual. You are loyal, as I previously stated. I informed you that you were prepared. The tranquility has ended. The concealed season has served its purpose. What was concealed will be revealed in a way that you do not fully understand. It is unlikely that you will become excessively assertive, arrogant, or boisterous. It is a fact that the contents of one's soul cannot be hidden indefinitely. Eventually, a concealed light will be discovered. A structure will be able to stand on an existing foundation. Deep roots will eventually produce fruit. You are currently experiencing visibility. Not for your ego, but for my own glory. Visibility is not intended to boost your popularity. Rather, it is designed to help you meet my expectations. I know, the same fortitude that allows you to remain concealed will help you maintain your visibility. Maintaining a sense of humility and silence will help you remain calm when others are watching you. The public will see the steady flame of faith, which flickered but refused to die. You didn't arrive unprepared. You did not improve by chance. There was a reason for the process. They intended the pain to be painful. There was a reason for the delay. Finally, the objective is demonstrated. Do not be intimidated by it. Don't let fear convince you that you're the same person you were before embarking on this journey. You're not. You are noticeably different today. You've grown in size. You have undergone transformations that are extremely difficult to describe. However, I am able to quantify it. I believe you are prepared. I believe you are prepared. I assert that the truth about you cannot be hidden any longer because you are willing to accept it without shame, fear, or change. This is your chance, my beloved child. You've been anticipating this change. Not only have their circumstances changed, but so has their perception of their own identity. You are now aware of what information has been discovered about you. You now understand the importance of silence. You are now aware that the information I have instilled in you is irreversible. You now understand that someone else was chosen in your place. Proceed in accordance with reality. Allow it to help you decide on your next steps. Allow it to give you a sense of assurance. Allow it to silence any fabrications that attempt to resurface. My child, you have left me speechless, and heaven is still overjoyed with the discovery it has made in you. Before going any further, live your life as if you are aware of your identity. I would like you to perform one more act of faith to confirm this truth. Click the like button to declare that God's blessing is now entering your life. It's not about the button. The following describes the appropriate stance. With each like, you send a spiritual message that says, I am ready to accept the gifts that heaven is bestowing. Your click should confirm that you agree. Allow favor, blessings, and breakthrough to find you. I'm eager to click it right now. I'd like to make sure you remember this truth one last time before you leave. Their goal has been to make you forget your identity for an extended period of time. However, heaven has today served as a reminder. Today, you have been recognized, identified, and referred to as unusual. I now want you to commemorate this occasion in your own unique way. Please enter Amen again in the comments section. Not always, but as a seal, an official assurance that God's words spoken over you today cannot be revoked, stolen, or ignored. Carry this revelation with strength and humility. Be the person I've molded you to be. You do not need to exert yourself or complete tasks. You may simply take comfort in the fact that you are spiritually unique. You persisted. Although this message has ended, a new era has just begun for you. It is now clear who you really are. Silence ended. The concealed season has served its purpose. I encourage you to take another leap of faith at this time. If you have not already done so, we strongly encourage you to join this channel. It's not about the button. This is relevant to your status as a prophet. Obtaining a subscription is a spiritual way to connect with the message that God is sending to your generation. When you subscribe, I will not overlook the message that God is sending. I will continue to communicate with Him through His voice. I will follow His holy flow. Do it now as your final confirmation that you agree with all of the information presented to you today. Furthermore, by subscribing, you align yourself with the assurances that heaven has bestowed on your future. Before you leave, one last thing. The items you receive today are not exclusive to you. It is aimed at your spiritual family, friends, and family. God desires to use your story, obedience, and even the simple act of sharing to help another person make a significant life change. Distribute this message. Inform someone who requires it that they are spiritually unique. This should be given to someone who is willing to give up. A spiritual transformation occurs as you converse. The blessing you received begins to permeate your being. The act of donating something exacerbates the breakthrough you achieved. Do not hide this information. Distribute it promptly. Allow your obedience to work as a miracle for another person. I noticed you continued to stay. You've grown in size. I will be by your side indefinitely. Before we wrap up this captivating story, I recommend that we take a moment to reflect on this deep reality. This message was not discovered coincidentally. This is not just a coincidence. This is Archangel Michael's direct message to you. He extends his hand and invites you to a high vibrational, protected community where divine abundance is more than a hope, but a promise. This spiritual idea is quite simple. Nonetheless, it has the capacity to transform your entire life. You will not just gain blessings if you follow it. They will multiply and permeate all aspects of your existence. Accepting this invitation grants you immediate, early access to potent content and heavenly insights that are now unavailable to the broader public. You now have the opportunity to enter a sacred area where you will receive unshakable support, spiritual guidance, and speedy progress towards your destiny. Do not miss out on this historic opportunity. Your triumph is near. Action is required. Your abundance is ready.